Hello, one of my customers asked me one time is how do you fuse a rack, and that's what I want to do today. What we have is a basic 6-shot rack here. So we have 6 mortar tubes in one of our racks, and this is a basic 6-shot rack. Obviously some of the racks are 12 or 18. We're just going to show you the very basics. We're not going to get into any advanced fusing with like an 18-shot rack. We'll save that for another video. We're just going to show the basic here. So what I have is I have my shells in my tubes. And then the question is how do I fuse all these together? And there's a couple ways there's actually several ways you can do that. Some different methods on how you want to pass fire, because you want to have a main fuse that will pass fire to these 6 shells. And you have actually 3 basic, we'll just say 3 basic types of fuses. We have what's called our quick fuse, which burns really fast. This is about a half a second, I think, per foot, so it's pretty zippy. I'm going to use that for a grand finale, and this is actually the fuse that we're going to use today. The reason I'm going to use the gray fuse is just to show a contrast between the leader fuse here on the green and the gray fuse here. So there's one type of fuse that you can use. Another fuse is your medium speed fuse, and again, the reason why you want different speed fuses is how fast you want these to go off. And again, my goal for these is we're going to light these off really fast. This burns at 10 seconds per foot, so a medium speed fuse right here, this one. And then we have your slow fuse, which burns anywhere from 22 to 28 seconds a foot, and cannon fuse, or sometimes called visco fuse, right here. So again, 3 types of basic fuses, and there's other speeds fuse as well, but those are your 3 most common ones that you see out in the market. So what we have here is just a pack of fuse here of this quick fuse, and we're going to fuse all this together. Now, one of the questions you might have is, well, how do I connect these? There are actually many different ways, and a lot of people have personal preferences. I personally like to use zip ties, just because it adds a little bit of durability, a little tug, and it'll kind of keep it together. I saw one of my friends actually use U-Haul tape, which you can buy obviously at a U-Haul store. I think it's like $3-4 bucks a roll, but this stuff is really sticky and it works pretty well. Another one is masking tape you can use. Some people use electrical tape, some people use acrylic tape. Maybe there's like quick fuse clips you can do. You can buy those. John Severn makes those. You can check those out. If you're interested, just let me know. I can give you a link for those. Like I said, electrical tape. So it's really up to you how you want to fuse, but we're gonna use zip ties. And so we actually have some zip ties here. Here's a pack of 100. I'm going to use red. That's actually the most common color that we sell. I think it just contrasts really well with the green fuse. So we have red zip ties, a pack of 100 right here. And what I like to do for zip ties is I like to actually put 2 per fuse, 2 per liter fuse. 2 zip ties, and let me demonstrate how to do that. So I'm going to pull out my fuse here. I'm going to actually go ahead and keep it together. You can, if you want to, cut it off and make it length, but for the illustration, let's keep it all together. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start over here on this side, and I'm actually going to leave, and it's okay, you know, we don't want to be too wasteful. I don't want to leave a ton of fuse, but I'm going to leave a little bit extra. The reason why I leave extra fuse coming off the end is to allow if I want to connect multiple racks. For that. So kind of keep that in mind. If this is your standalone thing that you just want to light off, then obviously you want to make it a little bit shorter. But I'm going to pull this out here and I'm going to leave about 3 inches. And then what I'm going to do is I just hold it together. Some people, you could add a little twist to it if you want, not a big deal, but you don't want to twist it too much. And then what you do is you grab your zip tie, and I'm going to zip it on there. If you want to zoom in a little bit, if you can, on where I'm zipping in, or where I'm zipping this, that would be awesome if you could do that. And you can see I have this here. I'm going to grab it, and I'm just going to pull it in, and you don't have to make it super tight. You can see there's my first zip tie, and you can see a lot of excess here. It's a 4-inch zip tie, and then like I said, I want to do 2 of them, and I want to go about 1 inch. And there's really no science to this. I mean, if you want to go 3/4 inch or 2 inches or whatever, it doesn't really matter. I go about 1 inch, and I'm going to do that. Pull this in like this and zip it right there, and there's our first one, and we're done. And then I'm going to repeat that for the next one. And I'll do it here for number 2, and then number 3, number 4, number 5, and number 6. And then for number 6, on shell 6, I'll go ahead and do this one just for the sake of time, but we'll zip the 6th one up, the last one, and I'll pull that in, zip it. Next one here, pull it in, and zip it. And there we go. And on the end, same thing, I want to leave a bunch of extra, And what I like to use is actually toenail clippers. Some people say no on the scissors, and I would recommend that. You don't probably want to use scissors because it might create a spark, but we don't know of anybody that happened, but we want to avoid the scissors. I like having these because they're safe. You don't have to worry about stabbing yourself. You can just throw this in your top pocket or whatnot, but strangely enough, toenail clippers and just good cutting pair, and then you can just throw this in there and clip it right off, and there is your 6-shot rack all fused up. One last thing you might want to do, or a couple things I should say before we finish the video, is what happens, you know, you got this excess plastic on the zip ties. Well, again, you can use your toenail clippers and you can clip it right here, and you can do it for all 6, or excuse me, all 12 actually in this case. And then you can cut those off, you can put those aside, and then once you have all these fused up here, all 6 of them, it'll look clean and it'll look good. And if you want to remove that, that's optional if you want to remove the excess zip tie. And then one last thing actually is, if you want to mark this with a piece of masking tape or duct tape, like right here, and then put an arrow going this way. So in other words, you mean when you hook up your igniter to this, whether it be E-match or your hand light or your Red Dragon Talon igniter, and then you'll know to hook it up on this side over here, because you want pass fire from all the way down, starting here and all the way to the end. So if you want to add some type of label here with an arrow pointing that way, that would be great. That would help you out a little bit as well. So there you go on that. So hope you liked the video. Hope it helps out. For some of you that had questions, thanks a lot for watching, and light up the sky and have a great night.